Hey brother, Stuart Matola, men's relationship coach here. Hope you're having a great day. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how men idealize women and they actually outsource the feminine to her in such a way that it can leave him traumatized if she's, threatening to leave or somehow walk away, or she's got really avoidant behavior that overwhelms you and makes you feel invisible or abandoned. So check this out. I'm going to give you some tips and tools on how to work with that dynamic within yourself so you can have more freedom in your life, in your relationship, and in the emotional realm. Real quick recording here from the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Oh my God, just gorgeous summer beaches and fun. So coming with a lot of just awesome energy. And so how do you know that you're experiencing this idealization of the feminine or outsourcing? The most basic way is you are experiencing behavior from your wife or partner that is disrespectful. You're trying, and maybe you're trying to hold space for her in a way in the emotional realm because you want to be a good guy, and her history. Her father was, abusive or not even present for her, and somehow you feel like it's your job as the man to, be that guy that she never had. Or maybe there's none of that. Maybe there's just a sense for you that, you'd be afraid to be alone, or you'd be afraid to have your family broken up, or somehow you'd be abandoned if, she left you or you were not with her. This can show up in daily interactions, such as you not speaking up for yourself, not self-advocating, not speaking what you want or need, not even allowing yourself to have wants or needs because, she's so loud with her wants and needs. When you have that kind of emotional abdication within yourself, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for castration. And she's never going to be happy with a guy who doesn't know who he is in the relationship realm. Now, in your career, you can rock it and you can be crushing it. But it's a totally different you who shows up. It's the guy, the more vulnerable guy, the guy who's, early family of origin wounds are showing up. Those aren't going to show up at work, but those will show up with your wife or partner. Because let's face it, bro, the first woman you ever interacted with was your mother. Okay? That was where your nervous system got acclimated. If you didn't have a mother, or if you had a mother who didn't, practice attachment bonding as you were being raised, where you were put in the playpen and not dealt with, it's been said that the first 2.5 years of your life, your nervous system is programmed. Okay. Now, bro, I'm 55. I've been spending years deprogramming this shit in myself, and there's still more work for me to do. But it doesn't run my daily interactions in relationship. So if you've gotten this far, what do you do about it? What does it mean to work with that? Well, there's a few different levels that you can work at that, and I'm just going to run through those real quick. One is the more action-oriented, the more tactical. You learn to set boundaries. You learn to speak your wants and needs. You learn to step out of the room when she's flooding you, amongst a whole host of other things, which I talk about in my Tuesday men's relationship calls, which you can join free, by the way. I'll leave a link to that below. But second is on the emotional realm. It's a little deeper. So now you're working with your fear of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of letting her down, fear of failure, all those fears. And there's two levels to work on that. One is more of a cognitive, trying to understand what the fear is telling you. And that's something I teach. How to get the data, the memo from your fear. And just to give you the headline, man, it's simply asking the fear, what are you trying to keep me safe from? Okay, what are you trying to keep me safe from? And there's more to that. I teach a whole methodology of rating it from 1 to 10. It gives you a quick dial in to knowing what's in your inner system and how to manage it. So that's that cognitive, let's call it gateway to the emotional realm. The second gateway is just feeling it. And that is, much deeper work. Definitely want to be working with a coach or a guide for that. And that's building resilience. So for example, and I'll be vulnerable here, one thing that I've been working on lately is the fear of abandonment. was my mom went to work when I was 2.5, and I basically held on to her leg, kicking, screaming, yelling, like this high-pitched howl. I still remember it. A friend asked, how do you remember that? I was like, I don't know, I remember. I was this placid little boy, not placid, but joyful. So that shit shows up with a woman where, like, I want to hold on to her freaking leg. I'm like, what the hell is that? So the way that I feel that is I have had relationships where I've felt abandoned. And to actually feel deep into the abandonment, that core wound. And I have the capacity to hold that for myself because I've been teaching this for so many years. Don't try that on your own is my recommendation. And if you do, notice the difference between terror and fear. Back off if there's terror. But with fear, you can hang in there. And notice danger versus discomfort. Okay, when you're in fear, 80 to 90% of the time it's discomfort. And so the third realm is the somatic, the body, the energy behind the emotions, the energy behind the thoughts. Okay, you got to go through the first two gateways to hit this third one. That means I start to listen to the pain in my chest, the burden, the fatigue of anxiety on my body. For me, it shows up right over my heart. Sometimes it shows up in the neck, the loss of voice. So if you struggle to self-advocate in your marriage or relationship, you have lost your voice. That will typically show up in the neck. If there's grief of abandonment of what you experienced as a boy, that's going to show up typically in the heart. And other stuff's going to show up in the stomach. Okay. Now it sounds abstract, brother. I get it. And it may sound woo-woo, but this is the deeper work to then, if you're going into, let's say, fear of abandonment or fear of being invisible or fear of failure, how can you cry with that to the deepest depths? Body shaking, tapping your body, humming, toning. Again, guide or coach like myself would be helpful to facilitate that work. How can you surrender to that? Give yourself over. Let that poison come out of you. And as you know, the poison is the medicine. And that takes some time, and it's not a one and done. And that's a practice too that I am able to do on my own at this point. And I'll do it in community with a group of brothers to hold me, because that's powerful. And that's that collective co-regulation, not just the self-regulation. We need each other, brother. We need each other. So I want you to have help, assistance, the support you need so you can be in your most relational and healthy way with your partner. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and have a kick-ass day. Bye.